Hello everybody and welcome back to the United Stand build-up show. It is a huge game today. It is Manchester United versus Luton at Kenilworth Road. We are away. We have an opportunity to close the gap on Spurs for top 4, even top 5 when you're looking at where them Champions League places come in. Champions League is crucial. We thought it was off the table. It looks like it's back on the table. We cannot let it slip today, unlike Steven Gerrard who did let it slip. But we cannot let it slip. Faz and everybody, welcome to the build-up show. Thank you for joining us. But initial thoughts going into this one, Faz?
Oh, you know what? Like Eric said, every game is a cup final. With the win of every game, the excitement and the pressure for the one after that gets more and more, if that makes sense. Because against Villa, we were like, oh my God, this is such a big game. Can we win that? And we did. Now against Luton, it's like, wow, other teams have dropped points. Can we respond by winning this game and close the gap? It's down to us, really, at this point. You know, we can't rely on other teams dropping points or how they do. We simply have to concentrate on ourselves and take this momentum, which is one of the best things in football, in our own favour and get like a run of 6, 7, 8 games if we can. It's really tough, let's be honest. Just because they have dropped points doesn't mean anything for us in terms of, yeah, we'll get in there, because it's still tough. You don't know what can happen on any game week. But we just have to take every game like it's the last game and keep pushing.
Unbeaten in 2024, Manchester United so far. They've picked up some good form, got some good results. Last week at Villa was a great away win. I know Villa were probably the better side, but to get that win over the line would have done wonders for Manchester United's confidence as a team, and just being able to go out and grind that result out is good for us. I want us to start putting in performances where we're making a statement and it's a win that we thoroughly deserved and we've earned, and we make it not look easy, but you go into that game and you're comfortable knowing Man United are going to win that. You don't feel that at all at the minute.
Sure.
But Faz, every single game in the Premier League is a tough game, and Man United in the past, they have a track record of when we're in the perfect opportunity to kind of make things better for ourselves and make things easier for ourselves, we sometimes make it harder. And this is one of them games for us. Luton, we should be beating them, but they're doing well this season under Rob Edwards.
Especially at home.
At home as well. There's no easy game in the Premier League, is there?
Yeah, no, definitely no easy game in the Premier League. But, you know, this thing that you said, you know, we want to go into a game where we feel confident and, you know, like the old feeling we used to get watching Manchester United. I think that feeling is a while away, in all honesty. And look, we've scraped wins. We've won games that some would say we don't deserve to win. But at this point, I'll take it. If just because we won games that we didn't deserve, they lost games because they didn't. The opposition lost the game because they didn't deserve to win just as much. If that makes sense, you know, they could have done more to beat us. So I just look at it in terms of, you know, we take one game at a time and we get what we get. You play the opposition that it's in front of you, and right now, I can't comfortably say that we can beat anyone, but the form we're picking up, I can confidently say one thing though, and this might shock some people, and may not, that I feel like Rasmus is going to keep scoring. That's
break a record today.
Yeah,
6
he
and
could
6.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing I'm very confident about, is Rasmus will keep scoring, and Dalot will keep performing the way he has been, which I've been saying for since last season. But yeah,
we've got to provide the chances for him. That's the most important.
But the thing is, even when we don't provide the chances, some of the goals he's scoring, it's nice to see, like the awkward angle, right place, right time, left foot, right foot, creating a goal by himself. It's just really positive to see. He's really grown on me.
It's super positive, and there's a lot of positive things we can talk about this Man United team. There's a few things that obviously still need improvement. We're nowhere near the finished article yet, but there is some promising signs which we've struggled to see throughout the season, really, but we're really starting to see some promising signs right now, and we're going to get into all of that. But guys, if you have anything that you want to ask us, any questions surrounding the lineup or what you think the lineup's going to be today, or questions about the game, or any sort of hot takes, make sure you get your super chats in down below and we'll be reading them out. We also have Sam outside of Kenilworth Road. He'll be joined by a very special guest, and we'll be talking a little bit of team news with him in a little bit. So if you have any questions with that, get them in below as well. But Faz, on to today's game. I'm going to be honest, Luton have been like my second favourite team in the Premier League so far this season, because I just love the story behind it. I mean, everyone wrote Luton off when they came up this season. Everyone thought they were going to go back down. They still might do. I really like Rob Edwards as a manager. I think he's doing a great job. They're exciting to watch. I just like them as a team. I think Ross Barkley's having a great season. I think they've got some
What
players.
a story he is for a player.
Yeah, what a story,
mate.
exactly. They've got some players that I like, and obviously today I want United to win 100%, and I want Luton to definitely 100% lose. But as a team, they are a team that I like and I can respect.
Yeah, I like them being in the Premier League a lot, I'll be honest. I was just on Instagram Live with Sam, and Sam was giving us a tour of the stadium. I've not had the luck to go to Luton Stadium yet, but it's just, you know, that feeling, that old school feeling of a football stadium. Almost feels like a League Two National League stadium. No disrespect to Luton, but, you know, it's just that rawness in that stadium. I love stuff like that in the Premier League. It's really nice to see. And look, the manager, the players there, they've done really well. I think one of the players came up with Luton all through the leagues as well, isn't it? So yeah, it's a really good team. Obviously, Sky Sports put out a picture that I saw just before this show about shots faced and goals scored in the league as well, which compared to us is the same, which is not a good look for us, but it speaks volumes of them. Eric has spoken so highly of them as well.
No, 100%. We're going to bring up them stats into the show in a second, but Luton, the player that has scored at Luton's ground before, it was in lockdown times, was Marcus Rashford. Last time on his outing at Kenilworth Road, he did score there. There have been a lot of rumours about Rashford and PSG the last couple of days. I think PSG have always liked Rashford. I don't see Rashford going there, but this isn't.
You don't?
No, I don't see it. But this is a transfer show. Rashford, for you, he was a lot of fans were really happy about his performance last game. A little bit. He's always been kind of Manchester United's star man. Højlund's been coming up with the goods recently. Garnacho's been getting a lot of praise. Manu. Does Højlund and Garnacho providing well, does it take the pressure off Rashford to provide, or does it put it on him? Because obviously he's the highest paid player and everyone has a lot of expectations around him.
I look at it like this. Firstly, when you're playing for Manchester United, pressure should always be on you. Just because the other two are doing well, whatever, you in your individual position, what are you adding to the team? You know, what goals can come from anywhere. You know, Casemiro was our top scorer at one point. Scott McTominay is. Every player should feel that pressure. In terms of Manchester United's forwards, the heritage of our club, the players that have played in those positions, you should always feel like you have to perform at a certain level, if not try and exceed it. Rashford's overall, you know, 10-year career in Manchester United, let's be honest, if we look back, how has he broken boundaries or set new levels? He's not really been able to do that, has he? And yeah, at the start, when he started, let's be honest, he came into the scene absolutely guns blazing, wasn't it? He was so electric, energetic, such a great dribbler. I think pretty much Garnacho's doing the same. Young player, comes into the first team, and now he's shining, he's doing so well, the output's there. It's about managing that. The links with PSG, you say you don't see it, but me personally, I can see it like a lot. PSG love a big name player. They love...
No, I think PSG would love it. I don't think Rashford will go.
PSG would, of course, so a couple things. I think one, PSG love a big name player. They love a player who they can market. They are able to afford to pay Marcus way more than we pay Marcus. The player that they're replacing him with, Mbappe, Marcus obviously on his day can be really, really fantastic. Not maybe at the level of Mbappe, but Mbappe's wages...
They have similar traits.
Similar traits. Mbappe's wages compared to Marcus's is obviously much higher, so they'd have a lot of money to play with there to offer him as well. Will he go or not is another question, but I know Marcus said it, many of us have said it, that Ineos needs to be ruthless if we're looking for change. I saw a Mourinho quote. He says, clear the furniture before you bring new ones in. And if we're looking for change, then make the change. We can get the most money for Marcus Rashford probably after his last season, cash in and move forward. It's no big deal.
I understand your thought process and everybody's thought process behind it who is, I mean, I'm not saying you're in favour of it, but people that are in favour of it. But for me, I just don't in a million years see Man United selling one of our biggest assets who's born and bred Mancunian through the academy. Whether that's right or wrong, I just don't see it happening. He's basically the face of the club. I would give him one more year personally.
Can I say, what age did Salah sign for Liverpool? Was it not 26?
It was 26, 27.
27?
Maybe.
And at the time
26.
when he, 26 if I'm not mistaken, at the time when he was coming to Liverpool, there were a good bunch of fans who were saying this is not a great signing, Klopp didn't want him, or whatever it was. And now look at Salah, you know, he's over the years, he's grown so much and he's absolutely terrorising the league. With Rashford, the sheer amount of experience he's had with Manchester United, you'd expect him to have a level of performance, and I just don't see it week in, week out. I wish I could sit here and tell you, Marcus Rashford, let's not sell him.
I think recently he's been decent. I know we didn't
But decent isn't good enough.
I know we didn't get a goal or assist last game against Aston Villa, but I thought he played well in that game.
Sure.
I think recently he's picked up his form. I mean,
somewhat.
Up until recently, and I'm talking like the last 5 or 6 games, he was having a terrible season, especially by his standards. Recently, he's picked up his form a bit, and I hope that continues because he's got star quality, he's got something. He's just not consistent enough. And to play at the top level, you have to be consistent. But hopefully today, you know, he can provide. And the most important thing, whether it's a goal or assist, is just a good performance. To be honest with you,
yeah.
That's the most important
Can you
thing.
see Rashford getting better with the course of the years?
I don't know. Not right now. Not right now.
I don't see him going to another level. I just don't. Maybe under another manager with a different system, whatever. But it seems like to me that maybe in the future he'll have to start playing in the central position.
No, he's not. He's not a striker.
Or else I don't see what else can he do.
He's a left winger. He's definitely a left winger. He's got the dribbling. He's got the skill. It's just whether he can do it on a consistent basis. And his trademark is cutting in and shooting, isn't it? But he's not a centre forward, and he'll never be a centre forward because you can tell he's just not got the attributes to be that right now, and he's never been able to develop in that role. But some breaking news: Luke Shaw is with the Manchester United squad today, coming from the MEN. We sort of already knew that was the rumour, but that is incredibly important. We're going to get into that in a second. We've got a chat in from Jake Max, 17, member for 6 months. If today ends in a banana skin and we fall away from the top 4, where do you think will we finish? If we don't get today over the line, I have serious question marks, honestly, because we have to. If we're serious about rectifying our season and getting Champions League, which is super important for the transfer budget, for Eric Ten Hag to stay in a job, to be honest with you, and just for this club should be in the Champions League. It's massive. So games like this today, you have to win them if you want to be playing under the Champions League lights next season. You've got to, and you can't slip up on games like this and deserve to play in the Champions League.
And the cheek of Manchester United sending me email to renew my season ticket. We're not even qualified for Champions League yet, mate. Hold your horses.
Barney says, so bored of the Rashford hate. Garnacho literally does the same thing as Rashford, but everybody raves about him. Obviously, there's an age thing, but Barney, I do think Rashford has been good in the last 5 or 6 games, and I do think people have maybe been a bit too harsh on them performances. But over the course of the season, he will even admit himself, the start of the season and up until recently, it's just not been good enough for what his talent is and for how much he gets paid. But let's move away from this topic now and talk about Luke Shaw, which is huge for us, Faz.
Sure.
And I'm going to bring some stats in a second to do with Luton and Manchester United. But this is my hot take. I don't know if it's a hot take, but I've always said, Bruno's the most important player to the team. Then I was thinking, Martinez is huge as well. I'm now genuinely, I was having this conversation, I think just through the pure drop-off without him, I think Luke Shaw is our most important player at the moment. One of, if not the most important player. Just because of him and Martinez, how much they enhance our play, it's huge for us.
You know what that just says to me? That says to me we're too over-reliant on this starting 11.
Yeah, we've not got the squad depth. That's the reason why we don't have the squad depth, because Malassia's obviously been injured all season, and I honestly forgotten what he looks like, I can't lie. And then
I saw a video of him training from last season, people uploading like, oh, Malassia's back. I'm like, this is from last season.
We don't have anyone else who can do that, and people can talk about, is Luke Shaw too injury prone? I mean, that's a question that goes around the fan base a lot, but no one can deny his importance. I mean, we were on the ropes when he came off against Villa last week, and he's just, what he does goes underrated. He makes the hard things look easy.
Yeah, he's so good when he is on the pitch, but the number one thing people will say is his injury record, and it's just we have to move on.
We're not moving on from Shaw. In my opinion, moving on from Shaw is, why would you move on from the best left back in the league?
Because I don't think he's the best one.
Is. My opinion. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's really up there, though. I think what he does for us is really good and really important. But the reliance on his availability is shocking. I just can't. It's just not fair. It's really not. When you have players like Dalot, Bruno, always ready to play, Maguire as well, as much as we've given him stick for his performances, always available, you have to be available. I get injuries part of the game, I really do, and I respect players who fight through injuries and play through injuries. I have the utmost respect for them. But if it's reoccurring, it's just more damaging to the squad in a long run. Can't you see it's more damaging? I've said this before with Martial, so I can't have the different energy for Luke Shaw. And Martial is a fantastic player on his day as well. But if a manager is having to make his team sheet at the start of every week or middle of the week, and every week or so, every odd week, he's got to think about swapping his system, swapping a player, X, Y, and Z. And the drop in level from Luke Shaw to the next player is so massive as well. So it's a big hindrance. His injury record is a big hindrance to the squad.
Injuries are obviously a factor in every player you've got to look at. Injuries are something that you've got to assess. But for me personally, just on a talent-wise basis and what he can do in a game, I mean, people are laughing at me saying that he's the best left back in the league. Who is better than him? I mean, this season Udogie's been better. Udogie's been insane, but Robertson obviously is very, very good. But he's been injured a lot of this season as well. But I mean, Luke Shaw for me he's right up there. He's at least top three.
I know Arsenal fans would disagree with you, but
I'm sorry. I am sorry.
Some would.
Anyone telling me that Zinchenko is better than Luke Shaw, just don't even bother to have a discussion with me.
I really do.
Luke Shaw's clear of Zinchenko. Yeah. Clear of Zinchenko. And Zinchenko's a decent player, but I mean, Arsenal are doing unbelievably well.
What about City's?
Luke Shaw gets in City's team, in my opinion. I mean, Ake is brilliant, but again, I see him more as a centre-half. I mean, he's great at left-back, but as a left-back, I'd prefer Luke Shaw. Gvardiol, great player, but again, a centre-back for me, not a left-back.
Season, has he?
So,
not the best season.
Yeah, that's my opinion on that anyway. So, I mean, Arsenal are having a fantastic season, but Zinchenko, for me, Shaw's better than him. But let's get into some stats. I mean, I assume Luke Shaw is going to start, because when you look... if a player is fit enough to be on the bench, surely they're fit enough to start. So hopefully he will. But here's just some stats we can go off as, and the chat as well, get involved. Luton have failed to win any of their past 12 matches against Man United in all competitions, drawing 2 and losing 10. So that works in our favour. They are a different sort of team now, though. Also, Manchester United are looking to win 5 consecutive matches in all competitions for the first time since January 2023. So over a year. Man United have won 11 successive league fixtures against promoted sides. I mean, so looking in our favour at the moment, which means he's going to go wrong. And also, Man United are unbeaten in their last 25 Premier League games in February. 16 wins, 9 draws. Last losing a league match in this month 6 years ago. So February is a very lucky month for Manchester United. Also, just a little bit of news coming through as well, is that Rasmus Højlund could become just the 4th United player to score in 6 successive Premier League appearances, emulating Cristiano Ronaldo, Ruud van Nistelrooy and Eric Cantona. I mean, if Højlund does that, that is on level with some of the Man United absolute greats there.
I mean, he doesn't come near some of those players, but just to be in a conversation with that record is a massive...
It's 21 years old.
And imagine the confidence he'll take from that. So, yeah, I really hope he gets a goal today. It could do magic for him.
Yeah, I hope so, because, I mean, it's not the be-all and end-all if he scores, but it'd be great to keep that record going, keep the form going, and you look, it's something like emulating Ronaldo, Van Nistelrooy and Cantona, some of the best Man United goal scorers of all time.
Yeah.
Like, that is incredible achievement at that age, and it'll give him such a big confidence boost going into the rest of the season as well. Producer, just let me know when Sam is ready to come in. Okay, great stuff. Thank you everyone for getting all your chats in quickly. Nick Cantor, best right, favourite super chat of the day. I'm joking. I've been wrong on a lot of things, but thank you for that. Trey Warren, would you guys say with Leach out that our best back four is Dallo left back, Shaw left centre back, Varane right centre back, and Wan-Bissaka right back. At the moment, actually,
it's not though because Bissaka's not available as well.
At the moment, actually, I would say it's Dallo right back, Varane and Maguire centre back. Maguire's doing a great job, and Luke Shaw left back for me. You the same?
Yeah, I'd go same. Yeah.
Even if Wan-Bissaka was fit, I'd stay with that back four.
Yeah, 100%.
But we have Sam live from Kenilworth Road with a very special guest. Sam, are you with us?
Yes, hello. Can you hear me? Are we all good?
Hello, yes, I can hear you. I can hear have you got the is there any chance I can just hear myself back a little bit?
We've got an echo.
Just a little echo.
From your mic, so maybe you'll need to put the volume down on one of the phones or something.
But we can hear you live and loud and clear.
I'm unmuted on that.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hold on a second. Right, we'll carry on talking until he's got the setup back. This is live on location stuff, guys. Bringing you here at the United Stand. We'll wait until he's ready. Is he ready? Ready, Sam? You with us?
Yes. What now? Are we okay?
Yes. That is perfect. I mean, first try. Didn't get there, second try, we're on the money. So, Sam, live from Kenilworth Road, how are you and how are you feeling going into today's game?
Yes, hello everyone. Sorry about that, but yeah, we're live from Kenilworth Road. Your Manchester United front three today is Rasmus Højlund, Rashford and Garnacho. And Luke Shaw is here with the team, but I'm currently unsure whether he is starting or not. But this is the way, as you can see over here. I'm joined by, some of you may know him in the chat, big advocate here at the United Stand, Robert. Robert, how are you feeling towards today's game?
I'm really excited, pal, to be honest. I expect goals today, but I'm pretty sure we're going to get the job done in the end. 100%.
Interesting. I'm going a clean sheet. And but yeah, go on, Beth.
I was just going to say, I just wanted to give a shout out to Robert. Obviously, Robert McCormack, as everyone will know him in the chat, absolute legend of the United Stand community, and it's great to have him there. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. But Sam, continue with your little interview you've got going on.
You guys look like big brother and little brother, don't they? It's pretty cute.
But yeah, so I'll just explain it basically a bit about what's happened. Just that's what happens when we're doing live outside broadcasting. But yeah, so we got here around an hour ago. We did some tests, and then recently just got some of the team for you. The confirmed team will be in 8 minutes, so I'll bring you that as well. But basically, it's Marcus Rashford on the left, Garnacho off the right, and Rasmus up front. So it is what is expected for Manchester United today. Robert, obviously, Marcus Rashford, there was a story last night that came out. Obviously, PSG interested in him because Mbappe is headed for Real Madrid, is what we think. What do you think about Rashford potentially going to PSG?
Yeah, I think it's on the cards. I think it's kind of an obvious move. I don't particularly want it to happen, but I think obviously a majority of the fans will. And I think that's why we can keep getting linked with a winger. So, yeah, I can see it happening, Sam, to be honest.
I have got the chat open, so if you've got any questions, I am able to see that. But yeah, Beth and Faz, any questions before this confirmed team news in a few minutes?
I want to know our midfield as well, I think.
He's not got it
yet. Somebody walked past me earlier and they said to me, he's actually standing beside me, but he said to me, would you guys play McTominay? He said that he wants McTominay over Casemiro for Manchester United today. Obviously, McTominay scored that goal the other day, that winner the other day. But for me, I wouldn't change Casemiro and Kobe in midfield. But it seems that some people do want McTominay to start. I don't know, Robert, what you think of that?
Role at the moment, I think he's a good player to bring off the bench with 20 minutes to go. I'm a big fan of Scott McTominay, but am I putting him straight into the team? I'm not, Sam. No, I think we've got a good balance at the moment, Casemiro and Mainu, and I definitely want to bring McTominay on because I think he can definitely affect the game, and he's been doing that.
Was it Ricky, says the chat? No, it wasn't Ricky. That's not who it was. But yeah, so if you just want to take a look here, this is called the Domino's Oak Stand. This is where the Manchester United fans are gathering on this road. The road is called Oak Road, and this is where the Manchester United fans are going in for today's game. It's a bit of a weird atmosphere here today. Obviously, we just saw Manchester United. If you want to point the camera over there, this is where the Manchester United coaches literally stopped and got off. So very close to where we were. Obviously, Luke Shaw did get off that coach, but will he start? I think in 5 minutes. My personal opinion on Luke Shaw, I tweeted this morning. If he's not 100% fit, I don't want him to start. I don't know what you think about that.
No, I totally agree. But I do think we need him today, though. They got one of the paciest people in the league in Ogbeni, and it worries me having Lindelof at left back instead of him. But if Luke Shaw's fit, he's got to play. But like you say, I don't want to risk him for the sake.
I mean,
Faz, would you start Luke Shaw if not fit?
No, I wouldn't start him.
I mean, Sam, for me, I think we were just having a conversation actually on the build-up show before we got you in. I was saying, for me, Luke Shaw is one of our most important players, if not the most important player at the moment. So if he is fit, I think he has to play. But obviously, if he's still carrying a little injury, you don't want to risk it, because having him out long term would affect us more. Like, hopefully, you would think we'd be able to get over the line today without him, but every Premier League game's hard, and like Robert said, I mean, their wingers, they're no joke. They can cause us problems. So it is important that Luke Shaw plays for me. But I wanted to ask you as well, Sam, what's the overall vibe right now at Luton with the Man United away fans? Does everyone seem positive? Because obviously, you know, if we win today, this is our biggest successive win streak in over a year. So we could start to get some good form together.
Yeah, so I think, to be honest with you, the vibe around here is really good. I haven't really heard anything negative coming from the Manchester United fans. I think everybody is feeling positive. Everyone is thinking that we will get the win here today. But somebody also did say to me on the way here, they said, wouldn't it be so Manchester United to not lose in 2024 and then lose to Luton away? I mean, it can't happen for me. We need to close that gap on Tottenham. But what do you think?
No, I think we'll be all right today. As I say, I think they've got a goal in them, but they're not a great team. You know, they got done by Bolton in the cup. I think they went out to Exeter in the other cup. They've struggled in games. Okay, they have scored against the big teams, but I think we're going to win in a high-scoring game, actually, to be honest. I think we'll be all right. I think we'll be all right, Sam.
Yeah. I trust what Robert says. It's making me more assured.
Tina in the chat, she said, watch your phone, Sam. Yeah. Thank you. Hopefully we'll be okay. We're surrounded by the Manchester United fans, so that should be all good.
You've got Robert there as a bodyguard. No one's coming over and touching Robert.
Exactly. No one wants to mess with Robert. But I just wanted to ask Robert, what's your thoughts on Ineos? Obviously, you were telling me off camera and on the Instagram live that you were never really Qatar. You always wanted Sir Jim. So you're impressed with their start so far? Yeah,
I know it's a unpopular thing at the time to be Sir Jimmy, and it looked like everyone wanted to be Qatar, but no, I was always Sir Jim, and I think he's starting to show why I have faith in him, as you know, amongst others. I think long term it's definitely the right decision, and I think getting Dan Ashworth will be a great start. We're seeing things. It's good times. It's good times to be a Man United fan. 2-3 years. I really expect us to be challenging again. I think we're in good hands.
Grant Fisher in the chat. Oh, sorry, Beth.
No, I was just going, 3 years. I expect it to be longer, but I mean, hopefully.
So somebody in the chat, Grant Fisher, he said Amrabat can play left back. I don't know what you guys would think of that. Obviously, when he came in, first of all, he was playing in defence. But Beth and Faz, would you play Amrabat at left back, or would you want it to be Lindelof?
For me personally, I mean, both players I don't want him playing left back, I'm going to be honest, but if I had to pick one, it would be Lindelof. I think Amrabat, okay, yeah, he can do a job, but I think personally for me, Lindelof is just edges him in that position. Amrabat's a midfielder, just the way Lindelof's a centre back. Ideally, you want a left back playing there, but if I had to pick one, I'd pick Lindelof. And just quickly as well, anybody who's saying they want McTominay over the starting 11 over Casemiro is absolutely barking mad. I mean, McTominay's done great off the bench, but that's what his role is, like coming off the bench and scoring us a goal. So you take away that sort of, you know, superpower if you start him from the start. So
I think I'd play Dalot left back and play Lindelof right back.
Really?
Yeah, because who he has to face.
Makes more sense that, yeah.
He's facing one of the most paciest players in the league. So I wouldn't trust Lindelof to face him. I'm going off I'm not going off. This is an open conversation. Oh, who would I play? I'm picking the player based on the player that they're gonna face, which is Ogbeni on that side. So he's very, very fast. You know, he's got a skill up his sleeve. So
Ogbeni is very good.
Yeah. So for that reason, but I think Lindelof should be able to handle him on the other side. But
I think a lot of people are talking about playing Dalot left back and Kumbuala right back. To be honest with you, the reason I would keep Dalot at right back is because he's doing so well in that position. And it's like the same reason I'd keep Kobbie Mainoo, Casemiro and Bruno as the three in midfield. Like, we're winning games with that partnership.
But Ogbeni's also doing so well on that side, and if we don't have someone to lock him up, then he can get a goal. You know, the thing is...
I'm hoping Luke Shaw's fit.
Dalot has to defend, Ogbeni has to attack. That's the difference. Dalot's not going to go and get us goals or whatever. Whereas
but he contributes going forward, Dalot.
Yeah, he does contribute. But if on a transition or counter-attack, they find their wingers and we have slow defenders, then we're going to be dead.
Lineup should be out now. Sam, have you got it?
Yes, I'm just loading it here. The Reds are unchanged from last weekend's win at Villa, with Luke Shaw part fit to start. So, Andre Onana in goal. I'm just going to read it how it is off the Manchester United Twitter account. So, Andre Onana in goal. Harry Maguire, Bruno Fernandes starts, captains the team. Marcus Rashford, number 10. Rasmus obviously starts with Garnacho. So, that's your league team news there. Confirmed. So, that's Casemiro, Rafa Varane, Dalot, Shaw and Mainoo. And then the bench, Bayindir, Evans, Lindelof, Ahmad, Amrabat, Eriksson, Omari Forson makes the bench. McTominay and Anthony. So again, Luke Shaw past fit. Robert, how big of a boost is that?
It's massive, Sam. It's massive. Honestly, I was having nightmares about who's going to play left back instead of Luke Shaw today. So to have him there, as I say, against Ogbeni, I think it's going to be a test. And he's just different class, Luke Shaw, isn't he? He's just, honestly, I think he's one of our best players. For me, he would actually be the captain. I know that's controversial, but great. It's just great. It's great that he's back today.
Robert's saying all the right things.
More. Beth says you're saying all the right things.
Beth knows. Beth's very intelligent.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you. Glad someone sees it.
But yeah, I mean, any final stuff that you guys want to see from here?
I think that's... Oh, we'll get the score predictions in for sure, but I just want to quickly say, I'm so glad, because I was driving to the studio today, I was thinking to myself, Ten Hag might start McTominay today because of what he did last game and these goals he's been winning for us. But I think Ten Hag, this is the confirmation that Ten Hag's learnt his lesson with McTominay. That is his role, coming off the bench to support us, and that's great for me as a fan knowing going forward, because I'm really liking seeing that Casemiro-Mainoo partnership developing. I mean, you've got the wisdom and you've got the youth together. It's
like when you call Batman to come and save you, isn't it? That's Scott McTominay for us. You use him as you've actually summed it up perfectly. It's the superpower, super sub, and why change something when you know it works?
If it's not broke, don't fix it. Yeah. But quickly, guys, before I let you go, because you got to get into the atmosphere there at Luton, we'll let you go. But what are your score predictions, both of you?
Score prediction?
I'm going 3-2, high scoring win.
Robert thinks we'll concede.
You've heard it here first.
United stand. I'm going 3-0, clean sheet, Rasmus goal, Garnacho goal, and Kobbie goal.
Love that. The youth are getting involved. But thank you, Sam, for joining us from Kenilworth Road. A great update, a great broadcast. OK, yeah, the quality might have gone a few times, but we love him bringing you this on-location stuff, and it's great to see kind of the atmosphere in and around there. And thank you so much, Robert, for joining us as well, an absolute legend. So have a great day, guys, and hopefully we'll get the win for you.
Thanks, guys. See you soon.
Thank you. Bye. Bye-bye. So looking at the starting 11, just to go through it one more time, as you can see on the screen, you've got Onana, Dalot, Varane, Maguire, Shaw, Casemiro, Mainoo, Bruno, Garnacho, Højlund and Rashford as your starting 11. I mean, instant reaction and thoughts off that.
That was the best starting 11 he could have picked.
Yeah.
It's the best one. Nothing there I would change at all. Very, very strong starting lineup. Very strong indeed. And expecting a big performance, big result, 100%.
One thing I would say that I wanted to bring up...
They defend really well, though. That's the only thing that's just got in my head. They defend really well.
They've not really conceded that many goals this season.
If they need to.
But the only thing I can remember is that 4-4 against Newcastle. Quite an open game. I don't think we'll get that today. But they are very good at keeping things tight. I mean, we only beat them 1-0 when they came to Old Trafford this season. It was Lindelof. I think it was actually from a set piece, I think, if I remember correctly. But I remember watching that game and I thought, this is a tight game and it was a difficult game and we got it over the line. Luton didn't really look like much of a threat to us going forward as in to affect us, but we found it tough to score against them. Going to Kenilworth Road, it is going to be tough. But somebody who's come into a little bit of form recently I want to talk about, because it's important that if we do, obviously, I don't think we're going to score loads of goals today. I hope we do. But if we do have to, you know, keep it tight and just kind of have 1 or 2 goals to get us over the line, this is a guy that's going to be important for us, who's come into some form. Andre Onana, Faz.
What do I mean? Really good performances, some top saves, which is really good. But David De Gea made top saves too. I want to see more of his footwork.
I'm sorry, Faz. I'm sorry. Last game, Onana was super proactive against Aston Villa. Came off his line, lows, was sweeping. His distribution was decent. Like, I think he showed all aspects of his performance last game.
The distribution is where it needs to be above decent.
His distribution's it's been good at the moment. There's a few times it's not like okay, it's not like absolutely amazing, but I think that's more to do with our players not being in positions to receive the ball.
I don't think he's come massively into form. I think he's had some good performances, but I do think there's loads more he can give, surely, especially after last season, what we saw last season in Inter. He can most definitely give a lot more, but he's had some positive improvements, that's for sure.
Looking at Luton's, I think you really kind of under-egging the pudding. I think he had his best performance in the United shirt last week, and I think it's important. Obviously, he had a rough start at United, and the Champions League was poor. But I think it's important that we get behind our player, and when he's in some good form, it's good to praise players like that, and hopefully he continues that today. But in Luton's lineup, we have Mengi, ex-United, who's doing very well. I'm still annoyed at the fee we let Mengi go for. It was right to let him go, but we should have got a better fee than what we did. I think we got just under $1 million for him, which is crazy. Premier League player, and he's got interest as well from other clubs. Leverkusen's apparently interested in him. I think Palace were interested in him. Fulham even were interested in him. So Mengi starts today against Hoyland, he'll be. And also Tahith Chong starts, an ex-United player. So they're going to have the bit between the teeth a little bit.
Yeah, it'll be nice to see, you know, the two, see how they perform and stuff. But today, as sentiment aside, they're our opposition, right? And they'll be looking at us the same way. So yeah, after the game, well, hugs and kisses, but before the game, it's game on, isn't it?
Here's one for you guys at home. Let's bring this in, and then we're going to move on to our players to watch. It's going so quick. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Love a Super Sunday. So, this is Luton and Manchester United. Current squad cost: Luton 21 million. Man United 833 million. Premier League goals this season: Luton 33, Man United 33. Premier League shots faced this season: Luton 378 and United 378. So when a lot of people blame Onana, which, okay, to be fair, in the Premier League he's been quite decent, but he has made some mistakes.
Some?
Like, yeah, but in the Champions League, but in the Premier League, I think Onana's been quite decent. There's been some mistakes, but he's not been overriding. But look at the Premier League shots that he's facing. And, like, he's facing the same amount of Premier League shots as Luton. That's on our defence, a lot of it, and the whole team as a whole. So our defensive structure has to be better. We can't be having the same amount of shots faced as what Luton have had.
Yeah, 100%. I can agree with that. Some of the shots he's faced as well, you'd have to consider our teams looking at him, that, you know, he's got a weak spot. You know, his weakness is if you could take a shot at him, maybe he might fumble. So that's why they're taking more shots. But 100% the defence, obviously we've had so many injuries, so we've not had a stable back line. And
by the way, Luton's keeper Kaminsky has been incredible. So if you look at the Premier League shots faced this season, 378, like it's mental. And it's not as if they're outscoring us. We've scored the same amount of Premier League goals this season. That's
what the shocking kind of bit is, really. Because the defence, I can understand, we haven't had stable back line, whereas the attackers, you've got some big name players that have played in the forward line. You've had Anthony playing there, you've had Rasmus, you've had Rashford play so many games, and to think we've only scored 33 goals, same as Luton, it's shocking. It's embarrassing, really.
Exactly. So when you look at it like that, realistically, like, Onana's record isn't looking bad, considering we've scored the same amount of goals as Luton, but obviously we're way higher up the table, but we face the same amount of shots. Like, obviously there's so many differences between the power, the pace, where the shots are coming from.
I mean, it speaks volumes. Anyway.
But the whole thing is, it's not just to defend Onana, but the whole thing about this is looking at it is we need to be scoring more goals, and we've started to do that recently. So long may that continue. We've actually started to score earlier in games, which I think is important.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Really important, just to take the edge off a little bit. And also, we need to be more defensively stable as a team.
Very true.
Of course, things come into this is we've not had a stable backline all season. Yeah. Injuries have massively hampered us. Changes every single week. Like, stuff have hampered us. But comparing Luton to Man United there, we shouldn't even be able to compare. We should be on a different level. Yeah,
100%. The squad value alone, we should warrant us having more goals and less shots faced. But the only stability we've had in the back line has been Dalot, really. And obviously Andre and Onana being the two players that have played. But other than that, I can appreciate the shots faced. I think I just have a lot of expectation from Andre, and I know.
No, 100%. He has to be better. He has to be better. He really does. Like, he's made mistakes this season. He's come into a bit of good form, and hopefully can build off that. But I'm not even just looking at
the Villa game was very good, though.
I'm not even just looking at Onana in that. I'm looking at the whole team. Like, we shouldn't be comparing to Luton. We should be comparing ourselves to Arsenal.
Sure.
You know, eventually Man City, Liverpool. That's where we want to be. We're nowhere near that. Like, instead, we're sat here comparing ourselves to Luton. That shows how poor this season's been for us, but hopefully we can. This is a game we have to win to kick on.
Well, I'm sure there are some stats that people can compare Man City to other teams to make them look a bit a certain way. It's just how they've done it, isn't it? It's just how the stats are portrayed. But at the end of the day, we're higher up on the table. That's all that matters.
Yeah, and exactly. And we've got the opportunity somehow to close the gap today, to be within 3 points of Spurs, who everyone was saying were going to win the title a few months ago. So it's crazy how things can change in football if I just string in a good run of results together, especially in the Premier League. That, you know, every game's a cup final, every team can take points off every team. So it's super important today. And one thing I would say is, like you said, recently, especially basically since 2024, we've actually seen Eric Ten Hag's football develop into where we can see signs of this being able to continue and get better, and a lot of positivity since having his full strength, near full strength 11 back.
I do have one thing though. I am keeping a very close eye on Spurs, because I saw this stat earlier on in the season where it said no team has finished below third in the Premier League ever after gaining the amount of points that they've gained in the first 10 games that Spurs did.
Well, we know Spurs'
and they might be the first. Yeah, they might.
Spurs.
Chicken might get fried at the end of the season. That's all I'm saying.
But Son has sent a super chat in again. Son Kyung-min. I love Son. Right, do you know the other day, guys, if anyone was watching the morning show and Son was asking to take me out on a date, and I said, you know, whoever Son is, DM me on Instagram and reveal your identity and we'll see. I'm not joking. I got about so many DMs of people saying I'm Son. I was like, not everyone can be Son from the United stand. So, yeah, it's an interesting one. But thanks for the super chat anyway. But next off, let's go on to players to watch. And guys, get your super chats in, get your opinions
Maybe DM me for a change, and I'll go on a date with all of the Sons. How about that?
Faz just wants a free dinner.
And drink. So do you. Don't. Who doesn't? Anyway,
moving swiftly.
How was your Valentine's?
I had no plans. I had nothing. I had a Galentine's. I was with my friends.
Wow.
Yeah.
All these super chats about how good you look, about they want to take you out, and you didn't have a Valentine's.
All these super chats. Come on, Faz. Don't overestimate it. Well,
you get a super chat one every stream.
Well, you know, I'm not actually actively looking, and
But they're looking for you.
But I'm also got different. I'm not getting into my love life on live.
Love finds you when you're least looking for it.
Exactly.
So.
I'm holding out for someone special.
Ah, okay.
Everyone, people will start naming United players. It isn't the case. But anyway, moving on from that, let's move on to our players to watch.
Okay.
First player to watch that I wanted to bring up. Harry Maguire.
Yep.
Harry Maguire, this season, has changed his United career around. Don't want to get carried away, but especially the last few games, Faz. I mean, against Villa, I thought he was excellent. The last couple of games against West Ham, I thought he did a good job as well. He had that purple patch in October, and then he got injured, I think. But Maguire, and this is probably the first time I've been able to say this about Maguire in a long time, I feel very comfortable with him in my back four. I think he's been
Very comfortable.
Very comfortable. His
Ooh.
head's like a ball magnet, like he just constantly...
I have enjoyed that bit, yeah.
You know, when set pieces coming in, you feel a lot more confident, you know,
Yeah.
with Maguire in there. And, OK, yeah, I still think our best partnership's Vernon Martinez, but Maguire's filled in more than perfectly capably well. And despite a few little hiccups in that West Ham game, his long passing and the way he's been able to spread the ball about, it's actually been helping us a lot as well.
He used to always be able to do that, his diags and long-range passing. But
he's been better, though, recently.
Better, yeah. I have... Funny you say that. I have enjoyed, you know, obviously got an assist earlier on in the season. I really do enjoy the connection that he's getting, you know, when we're crossing the ball in and we're able to find him. That's really good. And like I've said this before, look, testament to his mentality. Like, honestly, the players he got slated so much, it's unreal. Probably the most slated player in Manchester United, and he stayed, he didn't move, and he's given some output. Is he giving you output that's worth 80 million? No.
No.
But at this moment, he's given us performances that is helping us, and that's all we can ask for, really. That's it. I would love for him to keep growing, but come summertime, it'll still be. Thank you very much.
He's doing very well, and it's good to see him kind of turn that corner, because he was so poor for so long, but he's been excellent as of late. He honestly has, and that header down to Rasmus for that first goal for Aston Villa, it just helps us having that presence there. But would you still sell in the summer? Get in the chat, would you still sell in the summer, Harry Maguire?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I would. Because we've been wanting to sell him for a while, it seems like. And not just because he's performing okay and it's good, but we want to be, if we keep it Eric Ten Hag, right, the conversation that I remember I sent Mark a WhatsApp and he brought it up on a show. Look, if Ineos are looking to keep Eric Ten Hag till next year or whatever it is for the foreseeable future, you want to get players that can play his system. That's the most important thing of it all. We still cannot play the full-fledged Eric Ten Hag football that we want to see, and for that you need centre-backs that can play that sort of football. Our average age of centre-backs is above 30 years old, and we need to get the likes of Todibos in this team to upgrade us, really.
Me too. Even though Maguire's doing excellently well and I've praised him so much, like, that's great for sell on value for us and move on to the next chapter coming through.
I think he could be worth 40-50 million now if he keeps performing like this to the end of the season.
He's still, like, you've got to look at the age as well. I think he's like 30, 31 or something. But anyway, I mean, Sheffield United getting battered 4-0 again. I mean, Sheffield United and Burnley, they've not showed much, have they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Not showed much since coming up at all, have they? But anyway, next player to watch, Faz, that you have put down on here is Rasmus Højlund.
Yes, yeah. Fills me with a lot of confidence. He is. I remember from the first goal that he scored and the crazy celebration, you know, he's just oozing like relief from him, to now he's doing like the guitar celebration. He's actually just having fun with it, which is really, really nice. Right time, right place. He's a handful, real handful for defenders, you know, a big boy and strong lad. And he clearly has his head screwed on. You know, even in the interview that he did with us, he was, you know, very, very concentrated, and it's all great positive signs. I don't think he's had a bit of chat with, was it Van Persie, about you know, his position as well, which is really good. But it's all great. It's really, really great. I think it's real bright future ahead. Real bright future ahead. And you know where I started getting the inkling that he's the real deal now is that goal that he scored. Which game was it now, with his right foot from just outside the box?
Against West Ham.
It was fantastic. Like that, I was like, okay. The odd goals you get, the poacher goals, I get it. The running, I get it. Many strikers do that. But that particular goal, the dropping of a shoulder and to take a shot with his weak foot, the right foot, was fantastic.
I saw Antonio, you know, West Ham striker. He does a bit of punditry and stuff as well, doesn't he? And he was actually watching that goal, and obviously he's a striker, and people comment on how good he actually is as a striker, but he's a striker in the Premier League, and he watched that and he said that's the real, like that. He was like saying that's the real deal. That shows his quality and ability and that, and his timings and his anticipation is already improving into tenfold. So it's exciting times for Rasmus. I mean, at his age, it really is. And I keep saying it, like, when we paid 72 mil, yeah, it was too much money at the time, considering, you know, what we could have potentially end up getting him for. But if he continues on the path he is, like, he's going to look like an absolute steal. So
a long way to go.
A long way to go, but
yeah.
only 21.
Yeah,
so
only 21.
many years ahead of him.
Only 21.
Attitude, ability, just everything seems good there. Next one you had was Garnacho.
Yeah. Did I have Garnacho or Bruno?
Yeah, you. Oh no, you had Bruno. Yeah, you had Bruno. Sorry, you had Bruno as your player to watch.
Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah. What
is going on?
Could you put a bit more energy levels in, Faz? You sat here like, what's going on?
Fernandes,
Come on, give us a bit more.
That's what I'm feeling with Bruno. Honestly.
I think people are way too critical.
I'm not feeling. He's not feeling like Rasmus. You see how much I can say about him. Garnacho, how much I can say about him. But with Bruno Fernandes, I'm finding it hard to come up with words. I really need a big performance from him. I
hope he gives you that. My last player to watch was Luke Shaw, because I knew he was going to start today. I was confident in it and how important he is. I think Luke Shaw's also important for Rashford too. That is the best point, because those two, the way they link up and the overlap that Luke does, and obviously his left foot, the whip that he puts back into the box, it helps us really massively. And they have a great partnership over the course of the seasons that they played together. So yeah, I'm very much in agreement with that, the partnership that they have. It's the partnership that I used to talk about between Anthony and Dalot. Yeah, for sure. But Dalot, I still feel like needs a stable right winger on there, and I think that's Garnacho right now. Yeah. But in terms of, just to kind of go back to it, because we're running out of time, but I did want to ask you, for Bruno Fernandes to impress you in his performance, what do you want from him? Simplicity. Me and Ricky sat on a forum and said, I think early on in the season there was a couple of games where he just Ricky gave him man of the match against West Ham. That was only not the last game, but the game before that, 2 games ago. Yeah, but I think it's just simplicity. Want the simple things from him. And also, you know, the other thing as well is I was expecting him to this season, specifically with Rasmus Højlund, to be able to find Rasmus a lot more, be able to add to his assist catalogue, and I'm not seeing that as much. Obviously, we may be playing a bit of different football. Manager might be using the wingers a bit more, the fullbacks a bit more to get involved. But I was expecting Bruno Fernandes to add more in terms of assists to Rasmus Højlund and be able to find him. But I'm hoping to still see it going forward. Look, I've always been critical of Bruno Fernandes, and he's never really been in my favourite books. But that's all I can say. I just want a big performance from him. His energy, his availability, all of that is great, good stuff. But on the field, his abilities, it's not impressed me as much. Interesting stuff from you. Everyone obviously has a right to an opinion, and I think, you know, a lot of people in the chat share that, but people obviously also don't. So that's the beauty of football. You have different opinions. But I've got some stats I wanted to bring in before we go into predictions. So Manchester United's improvement before Christmas and after Christmas. So Manchester United's improvement. Yeah. Okay. So big chance conversion rate. Before Christmas, we were in 19th in the league, 22.9%. After Christmas, 6th with 54.6%. Wow. So big improvement there. Shot conversion rate, this is massive. We were 20th in the league, 6.9% before Christmas. After Christmas, 2nd in the league with 18.3%. Rasmus obviously is providing to that stat massively, but also I think we were taking unnecessary shots as well before, and we have started to work things better now. XG performance before Christmas was minus 9.5 in 20th. We can, yeah. After Christmas, plus 6.5 in 1st. Wow. Goal conversion. It's absolute stark contrast. Wow. And then expected goals before Christmas, 11th. With 27.5, after Christmas 8.5 in 14th, so we've actually gone down in that aspect, but we're scoring more. It's strange. And then goals scored before Christmas 18, 19th in the Premier League. After Christmas 15, 4th in the Premier League. So overall, obviously, apart from the expected goals, huge improvement. We are outscoring our expected goals, and there's a huge improvement in terms of actually converting and scoring goals and making chances. Yeah, huge improvement. That's really good, really positive. If we keep this momentum, I think we should be able to come fourth, you know, in a good way.
I'm still considering how many points are we going to finish with this season because of how other teams are doing. But like I said before, just concentrate on what we're doing. And the improvement, you know, these things are down to us to improve. So it's clearly helped us. I would love Rashford to get involved a bit more, though. I'm still waiting for him to, you know, people say that purple patch where he starts scoring.
He's been involved in the build-up. Like, I remember, can't even remember which goal it was now, but there was, him and Shaw did some nice link-up play, and I think it was for one of the Hoyland goals recently, and he's been playing better. He's just not been, like,
He's not been holding the ball as much as he used to. Have you noticed? He passes the ball a little bit quicker now, especially when he now has Luke Shaw. He looks to release the ball a bit more. Which obviously is massive.
Okay, his numbers aren't maybe like... To be fair, his numbers have been decent. They dropped off like maybe last game he wasn't involved, but I think his overall performances have been better, and that's what's most important to me right now, to be honest.
Yeah.
But Ten Hag actually got asked just now on McTominay, on benching him, and he said definitely it's a hard choice to bench McTominay, but I think, as you know, he's very good from the bench. I know what a player will say, and he will not like it every time being brought on off the bench. So I think Ten Hag there just kind of reassuring the fact that he sees him as that player coming off the bench.
Yeah, but the last bit, you know, a player won't like constantly being brought on from the bench as well. He would want some starting minutes as well.
He will.
Remember last season we used to speak about Fred getting rewarded, remember?
He will, right, but that's McTominay's choice in the summer. Does he accept his role at Man United as a squad player coming off the bench?
Right.
Because he's not going to be a starter, let's be honest.
Right.
In like the future team, or does he move on for first team football?
Okay, well, can I ask you this then? Because Scott has been coming on from the bench and getting us goals and winners, right? What happens when that dries out? And that becomes a big problem then. We need to, the thing is, again, over-reliance on something is not good. We're really over-reliant to the point where, keep Scott in bench because he's going to come on and give us a goal. Scott McTominay is going to come on and, he's come on, we're going to turn the game around. That over-reliance needs to stop. Our team needs to start scoring a couple goals so Scott McTominay can come on and then maybe put the game to bed instead of having that pressure of getting a winner and having nail-biting games. Obviously, this will take time, but I'm hoping that's the direction we're moving towards. We shouldn't be relying on Scott McTominay to be getting the winner, because hoping that he you know, if he does get sold in the summer, the next player that comes in, the next player isn't going to be a super sub. That player is going to probably want to be playing starting minutes. So, yeah, I can understand where Eric's coming from in terms of the player's not going to be happy, because I'm sure Scott won't be happy constantly coming off the bench.
He won't, but sometimes you've just got to accept that as a player. So like I said, in the summer, does he move on or does he stay and accept it? It's an interesting...
Again, a Manchester boy, isn't it?
But again, I think you can... Like, you're still getting a decent amount of minutes, though, realistically. He's always one of the first ones to come on.
Yeah.
And he's making an impact. He's having an impact. So
But when does he get rewarded for my impact? When do I get a reward?
Well, he has been rewarded previous this season. He started games and not been as good.
And now I'm being giving you what you need me to do.
Yeah, but do you think if Ten Hag starts McTominay...
Is it really warranted that Casemiro and Maino needs to play against Luton?
Yeah, they're our best.
I'm trying to be devil's advocate.
It's our best team in the Premier League. Like...
We're playing Luton to...
So you would start McTominay today?
No, I'm trying to be devil's advocate.
Yeah, but... I'm telling you, as a coach, every game's a cup final. Every game's a tough game. Going to Kenilworth Road's a tough game. If you have your best team, you play it. We're playing one game a week. There's not time to think, McTominay's been doing quite well recently, you know. Well, he might do if he changes the structure and the shape. But if we're playing the way we are now, and with this structure, you know, he's got to go with what his best team is. And McTominay's doing well off the bench. He's played him a lot from the start of this season. We've seen it a lot, and it's not worked out for us. So maybe Ten Hag's come to this conclusion. I think it's the right thing. But sure, he'll be thinking, you know, what's the point of me, you know, doing this?
I mean, there is Mason Mount as well when he comes back, because then how do you fit him into the team, into the bench as well? So Scott would actually naturally have to move on, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I mean, Mason Mount's another one. Where does he come back into this team? And it's interesting. In the summer, it's going to be interesting to see where we go from there, because I think we need midfielders, one or two in the summer. You're not going to be able to keep all the ones we've got, so which ones make way? Is McTominay going to settle for being a squad player, or will he move on for first team football? And then, you know, you look at it because you think Mason Mount and Bruno, you probably say that 10 spot competing. You look at the box-to-box role, you've got Cobby, you've got McTominay, you've got Ericsson.
Which Ericsson's to move on as well.
Ericsson's got to move on. McTominay's not really good enough to be a starter, in my opinion. He's good off the bench. You need someone as a box-to-box really coming in the summer. Someone's going to have to make way. And then you've got your central defensive role, Casemiro, Amrabat. Amrabat's going to go. You won't end up signing. You need someone for there as well. But McTominay could end up surviving this summer for sure, and still was bringing 2 players in. But it's just
when does his contract run out? Next.
Well, this summer it's either we give him a contract or he moves on. Really, we sell him. I think he's got a year left.
I think there's plenty of time. Decide in January. Extend his contract and decide in January.
No, but how long do you keep going for? Because he was going to go in the summer and then we decided, to keep him.
Things
do
have
we do
changed.
it again?
Things have changed now. The scenario's changed. Players are leaving. He's performing okay. I would extend it.
If he was happy to, I'd be...
We've done it before.
If he was happy to, I'd keep him as a player coming off the bench, as a squad player, if he's happy to. But I don't want him to be a starter.
Well, look, someone's got to... The thing is, if the team is winning, you just have to bite the bullet. I heard this thing from Conor Cody about, being realistic about your playing minutes and your expectations from the club. If Casemiro, Mino and Bruno are giving you what the team needs and you're not getting in, even though you're getting winners, it doesn't mean you warrant a start. That's what I was trying to get at when I was trying to play devil advocate. Just because you get winners doesn't mean you warrant a start. So you have to bite the bullet and you have to keep fighting until something happens. Because, okay, let's say there's an injury, God forbid, or suspension, you can then come in and then show your levels from a starting minute.
Ten Hag said on McTominay again, he deserves to play, but I can't line up 12. So that's the thing. I think his first sub, really impactful, and what he's done for us this season, winning us 12 points, I love him for that. When he plays for the badge, he's got passion, he knows what it is to be a United player, 100%. I'd be up for keeping him off as a player to come off and win you them games and come off the bench. But as a starter for me, I've seen it for years at United, and I just don't see it with him. I don't know a nailed down position for him to even be a starter. But finally, let's do predictions before Mark goes live.
Yeah.
Score prediction, Faz.
3-1 Manchester United.
Why?
I think Rasmus Højlund and Garnacho are going to get a goal, and I think hopefully Bruno or Rashford. I'm hoping a goal from either one of them, but I think we will concede at some point from a set piece or from a transition, and we have enough firepower to be able to get a goal. Just the form that Rasmus is in and Garnacho's in, it fills me with a lot of confidence to be able to get two goals at least. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see some more success off set pieces as well, because we need that as a team. But
I wouldn't want to see a Scott McTominay win it, and not that I wouldn't enjoy it, but it would be the same thing, waiting on Scott McTominay to come on to get as a winner against Luton. But would you take it? Yes, I would. But I'd love the front 3-2 to kind of put the game to bed before Scott comes on.
I get where you're coming from. I want it to be a comfortable win today. I don't want it to be nail-biting stuff like it has been as recently. But I actually think it is going to be that. I think it's either going to be 2-1 or 3-2. I see it being close. I see us only winning it by 1 goal. I think it's going to be a tough game for us, I do. But I do think we'll win. I do think we'll get it over the line. I think Højlund's going to score again, and I'm excited for that.
Yeah, that's the one thing. That's the one thing I think Højlund's going to score at any given moment.
And just on that note, Mark is live. So Faz, what shall the chat infiltrate with?
Well,
quickly.
I've had quite a bit of think, but because Sam went live with us, and behind Sam was Domino's Pizza, I guess it's the pizza emoji, because that's what I'm feeling now.
I could do with a pizza, so should we go and grab one?
Yeah, let's go and grab one.
Anyway, guys, we've got the forum coming up after this. We also have Mark's final score. We've got everything later. Hopefully, we're celebrating another win in a successful 2024 so far for Manchester United. Fingers crossed. Thank you, everyone, for getting involved. All of the chats, super chats, likes on the video. We really do appreciate, and everyone getting involved in the community. Go and infiltrate Mark's chat, and we'll see you on the next one.